Hello, my name is Chris Gregory. I'm from Heartland Horseshoeing School. I've been teaching for 25 years and been engaged in the certification and testing process for farriers pretty much my entire career. It's been a very exciting time. We've been able to see some very interesting things and some cool things. And one thing that's come about in the last 8 years, 9 years is something called the FITS exam, the Farriers International Testing System. We're going to be offering one of those here July 1st and 2nd. We'd love to have you come and try your hand at this exam. So with that in mind, we decided to have a little bit of an introduction. There are 10 FITS examiners in the world. So there's 3 Americans, there's 4 Australians, a couple South Africans, and a Brazilian. Today we're going to talk with my son Cody Gregory, who's a FITS examiner, ASF, and Robbie Miller, who is the first South African to pass the ASF and also a FITS examiner. Let's start with a little bit of FITS history. In 2008, Cody and I went and did a clinic in Brazil. Cody was part of that process. So what did you see when we were down there as far as the level of farrier?
So what's been really cool about that was not necessarily seeing the level then, but seeing how much it's improved in the last 8 years. So the skill level then, when we went down there was 2 or 3 real handy guys. Now when you go down there, there's a whole plethora of handy guys that are down in Brazil now.
So you were an examiner for a FITS exam last year in Brazil.
I was, and so that gave me a huge opportunity to see how many hands that were working and just to see the higher level work that they were doing. And there was some really beautiful work that they laid down there.
Yeah, excellent. So Robbie and I met in 2002 in Calgary at the World Championships, and Robbie and I have become great friends. So in 2010, we did our first FITS exam.
First FITS in 2010 in Robertson in the Cape.
You became an ASF, and then you were the first South African to do that.
Yeah.
And then you've been pursuing FITS all over the world. So where have you been?
I have. I've been here to the States a number of times. I've examined in Australia last year. And it's really opened my eyes and brought me up another level again from having achieved the ASF. And just seeing the guys back home, how they've improved since the FITS was introduced into South Africa has been phenomenal.
Yeah, I remember that first clinic. It was, the level was quite different then.
To what it is now, absolutely.
It's incredible,
yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so one of the greatest things about any kind of an exam is when you have a goal, it gives you a reason to go out to the shop that night. It gives you a reason to unpack your truck. It gives you a reason to practice, study, learn, and expand your borders. And we're fixing to do an exam in Argentina in June. Well, in the U.S., we have the journeyman exam as our kind of our highest level.
Yep.
You've been a journeyman since you were 15.
Yeah, I guess that'll be 10 years now.
10 years, that's pretty crazy. So after you become a journeyman, where does the guy go from there?
That's the really awesome thing about the FITS is it would be the next level above the journeyman, and it's a much more difficult exam as far as the practical version of it, in my opinion, than the associates, but it's kind of a stepping point between the associate, the AWCF, and your journeyman in the U.S.
Yep, and so Cody's got his AWCF as well, so you should know what you're talking about there for sure. And so now we have 3 levels of the FITS exam.
On the 3 levels, you've got the certified level, you've got the certified professional farriers level, which is the CPF, and then you've got the ASF level, which is the advanced skills farrier level. You've got the written paper, you've got the shoe display and oral, and then you've got the practical shoeing.
Yep, that's right. And just for your information, the certified level is keg shoes, toe clip,
Keg
1
shoes,
hour.
toe clip in an hour.
Yep.
Your written paper, there are 40 questions, true or false or multiple choice in an hour. And then you've got to produce 5 shoes. 2 specific requirements are an aluminium shoe and a forge welded shoe.
That's aluminum for you Americans.
Thank you for translating.
Yeah. So what about the certified professional? Now this was added just last year, right?
Yeah, this is a new exam which we felt would be a nice stepping stone between the CF and the ASF, and
It was a big gap.
That was
yeah,
a
it
huge
was a
jump.
very big gap.
Yeah, it was like, getting done with high school and then all of a sudden you got to go get your doctorate.
Absolutely, and this is kind of slotted in there quite nicely.
Bob Sim from Australia, he's one of our examiners. He's the one that pretty much spearheaded
It was kind
that.
of his brainchild, yeah.
Yep. All right, so tell us what that exam's about.
That exam, the written paper, there are 30 questions which are of a higher level than the certified level. They're short answer questions. You don't really need to go into too much detail on them, but it's an hour and a half exam. From there, your shoe display, there are 7 specific type of shoes, all therapeutic type shoes that you're required to build.
But they don't have to fit the same foot.
They don't have to fit the same foot.
Right.
But all of the CPF level candidates will build the same shoes.
Okay.
They're all handmade, obviously. And then again, at the orals, you'll be questioned about the shoes. You'll get some basic questions on anatomy, physiology, and pathology. And then again, you'll be required to reproduce one of those shoes that you built for your shoe display.
And then the shoeing on the certified professional farrier.
The shoeing, I think, is pretty cool. You've got an hour and 40 minutes in which to do a side of a horse, either the near side or the off side. You've got to build a 3/4 fullered bar shoe for the front, and then a 3/4 fullered open heeled shoe for the hind.
Clipped.
Clipped, quarter clipped, and toe clipped in front.
Very
That's
good.
a really good stepping stone. 'Cause
It is.
The ASF is.
Yep.
You gotta
So
do
why don't you
that.
tell us what the ASF exam is?
So on the ASF, as far as you've got the 3 modules as well, you get a written test of 20 questions and you have to answer 10 of them. Then you have a shoe display, and then for the horse, you've got a 2.5 hours to either do a egg bar, straight bar, and 3/4 fullers behind,
Doing the whole horse.
doing the entire horse. So
Yep.
a pair of hind feet and a pair of front feet. Or you get 2 hours and 50 minutes to do a pair of heart bars or open toe heart bars or W shoes and 3/4 fullers behind.
Yep.
So it's a marathon. Like, it's not something.
Yeah, the shoeing, when you do the ASF shoeing, you better have your hammer cocked.
Yeah, you better have been running for a month. Like, you don't just.
Yeah, you don't show up and just do that.
No.
Yeah,
it's-
and the thing is as well, which I think a lot of guys tend to not think of, is that although, yes, you are required to have everything done within the prescribed time, you still need to be able to produce that job at a very high standard.
Folks, if you want to become a better farrier, the FITS is a vehicle to help you get there. We're going to be offering a short course, probably 2 or 3 days prior to the exam. We'll have the exam on July 1st and 2nd. It will be here in the Heartland. If you want more information, go to heartlandhorseshoeing.com. You can find me there. You can email me there. You can find out a lot of information about the FITS. And man, we'd just like to welcome you on this journey, not only for you, but for the horses that you shoe and the customers you serve.